Hey, I'm Bethany. I am a fitness and nutrition coach for moms 30 plus who are trying to lose fat for good, keep the fat off, build muscle, tone up, feel really good again in their bodies, and navigate all the changes of life. If you feel like you are just trying to do all the things, if you're trying to lose fat, but you feel like everything's going against you, you are overwhelmed, you're tired, you're feeling not like yourself anymore, but you're trying to do the things that you thought would work, you're trying to do lots of exercise, you're trying to eat healthy, but nothing's happening. Just know that you are not alone and you're not crazy, okay? And you're definitely not broken. This is all real stuff. All what's happening to you is real stuff that happens to a lot of women, especially if you are over 30. Fat loss is harder and it does feel harder right now. So let's talk about why this is. Why is this happening? What's going on in your life? Why specifically why is fat loss harder right now in your life? And then what can you do about it? And throughout this video, we're going to talk about the habits and the strategies that you can start doing to help you get to your goals finally. I'll walk you through what's going on, what actually works, what works with me, myself, and my clients in a way that's sustainable, effective. So why does fat loss feel so different after you turn 30? Like all of a sudden it feels different. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. First, let's talk about what's going on in your body. Your hormones are actually start shifting in your 30s. Progesterone goes down a little bit, estrogen goes down, testosterone goes down, your insulin sensitivity changes, so blood sugar changes all over the place. So lots of things are happening in your body, whether you know it or not. And your metabolism slows down a little bit as you age, especially if you're not continually working to keep it high. You've also probably are going through or have gone through a lot of intense life changes and life phases like pregnancy, kids, older kids. Your kids are getting older and they're doing their own thing. Lots of kids' sports, moving, jobs, busy life, taking care of your own parents, taking care of family things that are happening, right? There's a lot of stuff that happens in your 30s that kind of pile on to each other. And all of that is exhausting physically and mentally. So if you were feeling this weight on you, just know that you're not alone. Of course, you're going to be tired. It's going to feel harder to lose the weight. It's going to be more difficult. Know that you're not doing anything wrong. You're just carrying a lot right now. But here's the truth. Life is always going to be full, right? There's always going to be things that come up. It's not going to magically slow down one day. Unfortunately, there might be times where there's something really stressful going on and that will end. There's things like that all the time, but there's always going to be something that comes up. So it's up to us to really develop habits and things that support yourself no matter what's going on, and learning how to adjust your fitness life and adjust to your health habits in order to support yourself going through those things and making it happen in real life. Don't try to create something perfect that you feel like you have to do perfectly one day, right? Life is always going to be busy. It's important to figure out what's actually going to work for you now. Okay, let's talk about if you feel like you've tried all the diets and you've tried losing weight and it just feels like an uphill battle now. Like you've tried all the things that you used to try and they're just not working anymore. Why this is there is a reason for it. Your body has a built-in self-defense system. So if you have dieted chronically over the years, or you've always been trying to lose the weight, and you've gone low calorie a few times in your life, and you feel like you're gaining even more weight than you've ever had before, that's because your body is actually doing its job and trying to protect itself from losing more weight. The more times you've dieted, especially if it was restrictive, the more your body learns to adapt and protect itself. Your metabolism then slows even lower. It slows down more, trying to protect itself, and you adjust to the lower intake that you've had before. So this is why people always regain the weight back and even more, because our body has adapted to those low calories. And if you eat just a little bit more, especially during stressful times, then your body's like, oh, I gotta hang on to this weight because I'm gonna be going in a deficit, right? That's just what our body does. Your hunger hormones will spike. Your cravings will spike. Your body's literally trying to just help you survive. If you're not careful how you diet and how you approach your nutrition, it can be really hard to see sustainable fat loss and keep it off for good. And it will be much easier to regain it, unfortunately. This is why so many women feel like they can't keep it off long term, or it becomes harder as they get older because of these changes, because of what your body is trying to do for you. It just gets a little bit harder. But the good news is there are strategies and there are things that work to help your body to work with your body so it doesn't feel like it's under attack. So there's different nutrition strategies and exercise strategies that we'll be talking about that really help you to stay protected, to have a higher metabolism, to keep that weight off for good. Let's get into it. I really want to emphasize that there is no perfect diet. Keto, intermittent fasting, Whole30, alkaline diet, whatever diet you've heard of that restricts different food things, or even clean eating diet, right? Those things are not magical, okay? They're not, you just don't do it and then all of a sudden you're gonna lose the weight for good and you're good for the rest of your life. What actually is gonna work is what you adhere to. What is going to work for you for the rest of your life. Because when you're done with the diet, you have to keep up those habits. You can't be done because your body is going to push you into getting back to where you were. So if you don't have the habits, if you don't have the same habits that you have when you're trying to lose weight, then it's gonna be so much harder to keep it off. And it's really hard, okay? So if you're not going to do keto for the rest of your life, if you're not going to do intermittent fasting for the rest of your life, don't do it, okay? Because it's just going to make it so much harder for you. So what actually works is the eating habits and the lifestyle habits and the exercise habits that you can stick to right now. If it's not sustainable, it's not successful. I don't personally hand out meal plans and I don't tell you guys what to eat. I need you to learn how to eat for yourself. That's what's going to be empowering. That's where you're going to find sustaining long-term change, is having that education and power to know what is working for you. And that's where I teach flexible dieting and tracking your food. I feel like that is such a powerful method to do this. And now it's not for everybody and not everyone's going to love it. And some people get, really anxious about tracking food and things like that. But majority of people that I've worked with, majority of my clients, sometimes it's just a learning curve we need to get over. And once we get over that, they see so many amazing results and they love it because it gives them results, it gives them freedom at the same time. Because you're learning how to fuel your body with protein, how to fuel your body with healthy carbs and healthy fats, what it looks like in each meal. What does your food have in it? How much of your food do you need? And then you can also still enjoy fun foods and learn how to eat in moderation because you're practicing that skill. That's why I love tracking food and flexible dieting, because you know exactly what you need to eat. And I'm gonna do another video on this specifically, why tracking food is so successful and why I love it. But that is something that needs to be done in order to know where you're going. So having that knowledge and those decision-making skills are gonna last you a lifetime. So you need to do them now and they're gonna help you so much in your busy life, especially when you're trying to adjust different things throughout your life. And then the next thing is you need to make sure that you are strategic with your goals. Okay, sometimes just winging it and saying you're gonna eat healthy and just doing whatever sounds good on the internet, it's not going to bring you to your goals, okay? Even if you're doing all the right things, even if you're lifting heavy, even if you are eating a high protein diet and a healthy diet consistently, and you're still not seeing results, it's because of a lot of factors, but it's also because you're not focused on what's actually happening, or you're not tracking the food in the best way possible that you can, or you're not paying attention to sleep or habits or stress management or the kind of training that you're doing, matching up the training. Like if you're in a fat loss phase, is your nutrition matching that phase? If you're in a maintenance phase, is your nutrition matching that maintenance phase? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this might be the problem, because a lot of people just wing it and they just exercise and they eat healthy and hopefully they see some results. But the trick is, if you don't know where you're going, if you don't have a plan to know where you're going, you're not going to go anywhere, right? Most women try to do everything at once, or they try to just do fat loss. And what they really need is to step back, eat more food, start building muscle, and that's when their metabolism gets fixed, and then they can lose fat later. So the phase-based method is what I recommend, what has been proven to help get these results that you want to see, because you have a specific plan in place. So fat loss, maintenance, reverse dieting, building muscle, all of those phases are super important. Even if you're in a maintenance phase, it's supposed to be a very purposeful phase. It's not just living life, okay? So when you're strategic about the phase, you will see results. So if you are sick and tired of not seeing results and you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing, it's time to be precise, have a strategy, make sure that your nutrition is matching up with your training. So for example, with the maintenance phase, you're learning to fuel your body well and feel balanced before jumping into a deficit. With the fat loss phase, you are focused and there's a time-bound period where you are focused on fat loss. This does require a little more mental energy because you are trying to be so focused and seeing results each week. Muscle building phase, that's where you're trying to eat enough and trying to build muscle each month as well. So that's a little more focused. And then even the lifestyle maintenance needs to have a goal. Okay, you can't just do whatever, because if you do whatever, that's where the weight regain happens, especially if you've done a fat loss phase. So learning how to live in your goal body is the key here. That's just a summary of all the phases to get into, to really know what's going on and how to achieve your results. Even if you are in a stressful phase of life, you focus on maintenance, what you can do at that time. And once you know exactly what nutrition you need, what training you need, then you're going to see your results and you're not going to waste your time and you're going to figure things out. And that's amazing, right? Because you're not going to be frustrated anymore. You're going to know what to do. You're going to know how your body works and what to feed your body. It's going to be empowering and it's going to be so freeing because you know exactly what's going on. Okay, so if you've been stuck and there's a bunch of things going on and you're just not sure what step to take first, here are a few key principles to keep in mind. And we've talked about a few of them, but the first one being you need some form of restraint. And that's not necessarily, and that's going to be different for a lot of people, but you do need some kind of calorie deficit in order to see your fat loss results. So tracking food obviously is my favorite method that works for a lot of people, but you don't need extreme rules. What you do need is boundaries. You do need some rules and boundaries for yourself. You need some way to stay in that calorie deficit. Whatever's gonna make you stay in that calorie deficit is what's going to work. And then you do need to self-monitor. You need to know how much. Stepping on the scale is a really good way to self-monitor. I know a lot of people hate the scale. Honestly, it's just data. It's just data that you're looking at. Try to just look at it in a logistical way. Try not to make it tell you something that's not, right? Your worth doesn't matter. I know it's hard when you get emotional on some days to see that, but just know that, oh, it's just data. Let's figure this out. Let's problem solve, right? Everything will be okay. It's just numbers that's a tool to help you. And then resistance training, obviously. Any kind of exercise is amazing. It's going to do amazing things for you, for your mood, for your mental health. But resistance training will help you with your metabolism and keeping fat loss working for the rest of your life. So resistance training is probably number one key, and building muscle is going to help you so much, so efficient. And then structured programs. If you're just looking on the phone, if you're just scrolling Instagram, looking at information all day, and it's not gonna do anything. You need something structured. You need accountability. You need to take action now. And you need to have that structure. Our brains, humans, really like structure to get results because naturally we just kind of do whatever, and that's just what our natural brains want to do. But if we have that specificity, if we have the structure, we can actually see the results that we want. And then long-term focus, having the mindset of how is this going to help me long term, right? Not having the focus of temporarily, this feels good. And I know it feels good, especially if you're stressed out, but you just have to practice the mindset. And that's a key thing, is practicing the mindset of long term, what's the best thing for me right now. Sometimes it is that rest. Sometimes it is, having that ice cream. Sometimes it is. But just practicing that balance, practicing the long-term focus is going to be so key. Obviously, support and accountability is huge. If you are doing it on your own, you feel all alone, that sucks. And that does not help at all. So if you are feeling like I can't do this on my own, it's time to get a friend, time to get some family together, time to set some goals with somebody. It really helps to get somebody else in it with you. And obviously coaching and obviously a supportive community, even online, helps even more, because you're having those structured programs, you're having someone to stay accountable to, and that's where you're going to see amazing results. Remember that you're not broken, you're not failing at all. You just need a productive, right strategy that works for your life. You need the habits and the behaviors that are going to work for you, especially in this time of life where you're so crazy busy and you're not sure where to start. It's time to put together a strategy, time to get some goals together, trying to figure it out for yourself so that you can start now and see amazing results in a sustainable way. If you're thinking, okay, this makes a lot of sense, I just don't know where to start, it's overwhelming, totally get it. So I am doing all that I can to help you to get to these goals. I have a quick little freebie checklist phase finder that I have below that you can download really quick to see, okay, this is how I'm feeling. Maybe I should go in this phase, whether that be fat loss, maintenance, muscle building, reverse dieting, and you can kind of get an idea of where you're at right now. And that will help you to get to the first step of awareness of what's going on in your life. And then you can kind of step into the next phase and you can take a sneak peek on how I help with more structure and more support if you need that. Built for Life method. So I hope you like this video. Like it and subscribe for more. We will be talking more about some of these things in the next videos. Thanks for watching.